Some men walk into a room and they don't have to say a word. The energy shifts. People turn. Not out of admiration, but out of caution. Something about them just hits different. No smiles. No fake swagger. Just a presence that makes weak men nervous and fake ones disappear. This isn't about acting tough or putting on a show. It's not about being loud. It's not about being liked. It's about something far deeper. A raw, unfiltered strength that comes from pain, purpose, and principle. That kind of energy is rare. And when you have it, you won't even know. But others will. They'll sense it in your silence, in your eyes, in your decisions. If you've ever wondered why some people treat you with distance or sudden respect, you're about to find out why. These are the 8 signs that you have a strong, intimidating personality. Not the kind that chases attention. The kind that doesn't need it. Sign number 1. Eyes of conviction. You don't need to say a single word to make someone feel your presence. If your eyes carry conviction, the room already knows. Most men walk around with hollow eyes, dead giveaways of a lost soul. Their stare flickers like a broken bulb. No purpose. No power. No weight behind their words. But not you. You've got that look. The one that makes weak men nervous and leaves manipulators second-guessing themselves. It's not about aggression. It's not about being loud. It's about being anchored. A man with conviction in his eyes can shut down a room without raising his voice. And it's not something you fake. You either walk in truth or you don't. You either stand for something or you fall for everything. This world is flooded with cowards pretending to be kings. But all it takes is one look to separate the wolves from the sheep. During chaos, your eyes stay still. During pressure, they hold firm. People can't explain it, but they feel it. That unshakable presence that says, "I'm not here for approval. I'm here because I belong." That's the kind of aura that silences crowds and unsettles the fakes. If you've got those eyes, you don't need to intimidate. You already do. Sign number 2, reading people is what separates the truly powerful from the rest of the noise. Most guys talk too much, trying to prove they're smart or strong. But the men who intimidate without a word are the ones who can read you like a book and never say a thing. You can see it in their eyes when they walk into a room. They scan, they observe, they decode every word, every pause, every fake smile. You think you're hiding something. They already know. This kind of awareness shakes people up because they know they can't hide behind charm or noise or fake confidence. You sense when someone's lying, when they're masking weakness, when their praise has hidden claws. And that rattles the manipulators, the narcissists, the energy vampires. They depend on people not seeing clearly. But when you read people effortlessly, when your silence makes them fidget, you become a threat. A man who can read others becomes immune to most games. You're not playing poker with fools. You're reading the cards before they hit the table. You spot motive in tone, deception in eye movement, fear behind fake boldness. And what makes this even more dangerous is that you don't flaunt it. You just sit back and watch, collecting data, staying 10 steps ahead. That unsettles everyone. Because deep down, they know you're not buying the act. You're seeing the truth. And nothing terrifies people more than being seen for who they really are. Sign number 3, battle scars. You want to know what real presence is? It's not in the clothes you wear, the car you drive, or the titles you collect. It's in your scars. The ones no one sees, but everyone feels. When you've lived through hell and walked out with your head up, people notice. Not because you brag about it, but because it lingers in your energy. You carry a weight, a gravity, that can't be faked. The man who's fought real battles doesn't flinch when life gets messy. He's already seen worse. He's already bled. He's already healed. And that quiet confidence, that unshakable calm in chaos, intimidates those who've lived in comfort. They see your eyes and know there's a story behind them. Maybe you came from a broken home, or grew up where survival was a daily game. Maybe you faced death, betrayal, failure, and got back up without anyone clapping for you. That does something to a man. It forges steel in his spirit. And when others sense that, they step lightly. They feel your edge, even if you never raise your voice. Battle scars don't make you bitter. They make you unbreakable. You know what matters. You don't chase noise. You don't fear pain. You've been through enough to know you can handle anything. And that makes you a presence most can't shake. You don't need to prove anything. You've already proven it to yourself. That's the kind of strength that doesn't speak. It just is. Sign number 4, comfortable with silence. Most people panic when things go quiet. They scramble to fill the air with nonsense, afraid of being left alone with their own thoughts. But you sit in silence like it's home. You don't rush to talk. You don't speak to be heard. You speak when you have something to say. That kind of presence shakes people up. Because when a man is comfortable with silence, it means he's comfortable with himself. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need attention. He doesn't need to be loud to feel important. And that quiet confidence, that's intimidating. It's rare. It's unsettling. In a world where everyone is screaming to be seen, you stand still and let your energy do the talking. You watch. You listen. You observe. And when you finally speak, people lean in. Because they know you're not here to waste words. Your silence isn't emptiness. It's a choice. A weapon. It's what separates men who perform from men who possess real control. You can sit at a table, say nothing, and still be the most respected person in the room. Not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't need to say. Sign number 5, walking with death. Some men live like they've got forever. They chase comfort, avoid risk, and tiptoe around anything that reminds them of the inevitable. But you walk with death. Not because you're suicidal. Not because you're reckless. But because you've accepted the truth most people are too scared to face. Death is coming, and no amount of denial will stop it. That awareness doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful. You don't waste time. You don't chase distractions. You don't fear what others fear. When chaos hits, you don't flinch. When pressure builds, you don't fold. Because you've already made peace with the worst that could happen. That kind of acceptance gives you an edge most men can't understand. While they're busy avoiding fear, you've trained beside it. While they run from the end, you use it as fuel. The Stoics called it memento mori, remember you will die. But you don't just remember it. You live it. And that kind of clarity, that's terrifying to people still trapped in illusion. Your calm under fire, your ability to keep moving forward no matter what, it all comes from knowing one brutal truth: nothing lasts. So every step matters. Every word counts. And you're not here to waste any of it. Sign number 6, embracing discomfort. Weak men run from discomfort, but you walk straight into it. Not because you enjoy pain, but because you understand growth is forged in fire. While the world lounges in comfort zones and celebrates mediocrity, you train yourself to resist the softness that's killing ambition. Every cold shower, every early morning, every rep in the gym, every sacrifice, it all builds something no one else can see but everyone can feel. Your presence carries the weight of pressure endured. Most people break under discomfort, but you get sharper. They think you're crazy for doing the hard things. But they don't understand, you're not doing it to prove anything. You're doing it to become someone unbreakable. Modern life tries to pamper men into submission, but you've chosen the ancient way. You embrace hardship like a weapon. You've stopped running from the pain and started building with it. This energy, this quiet, consistent pressure you apply to yourself, it's intimidating because it exposes the fragility in everyone else. When they see you operate with discipline, when they see you pushing your limits while they sit back and coast, they feel it. The contrast hits them deep. You don't need to explain yourself. Your choices speak louder. You chose pressure over peace, growth over comfort, pain over pleasure. And that is why you are feared. You are not like the rest. You are carved from a different mindset, one that doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, and doesn't stop. Sign number 7, unconcerned. You are a man who walks through the world with a kind of calm detachment that rattles people to their core. While others spend their lives chasing likes, validation, and approval from strangers who don't matter, you move with complete indifference to outside opinion. This isn't arrogance, it's focus. You don't live for applause, you live for alignment. You listen only to the voice inside you, not the noise around you. And that scares people. Because in a world built on social approval, your independence is disruptive. You are not swayed by gossip, peer pressure, or trends. You do not bend to gain acceptance. You do not dress to impress. You do not speak to please. You operate from principle. And when people can't manipulate you with praise or punish you with judgment, they label you cold or aloof. But that's just projection. You are not detached from reality, you are detached from dependency. You understand that the opinions of others are fleeting and unreliable. You don't care how you are perceived because you know who you are. And while they're obsessed with image, you are obsessed with truth. You don't perform. You simply live. And that makes you intimidating. Because your freedom reminds them they are still shackled by the need to be liked. You are not rude. You are resolved. You are not hostile. You are just grounded. Your silence isn't weakness. It's power. And your lack of concern is not absence of emotion. It's the presence of clarity. That's why you stand out. That's why they feel your presence even when you say nothing. Because you are free in a world full of slaves. Sign number 8, mystery. You don't reveal your entire hand. While most people wear their lives on their sleeves, desperate to be seen, heard, and understood, you stay quiet. You keep your moves low and your thoughts guarded. You don't overshare. You don't broadcast your plans. And that unsettles people. In a world obsessed with openness and constant display, your restraint is both rare and powerful. You make people guess. You don't say much, but when you do, it lands heavy. You're not trying to be cryptic or cool, you just don't believe in handing your soul to anyone who asks. That guarded nature adds to your intimidation. Because people fear what they can't predict. And you're unreadable. That silence, that unpredictability, creates an edge. It says you are not here to entertain. You are here to execute. Whether it's in a conversation or a confrontation, your restraint makes people second-guess themselves. You let your actions talk. Your energy arrives before your voice does. This doesn't mean you're cold or antisocial. It means you respect yourself enough to move with intention. You share with purpose, not desperation. You know that when everything is public, nothing is sacred. And sacred things build power. Your life is a locked vault, and only a few earn the key. That's why people notice you even when you're in the back of the room. That's why they wonder what you're thinking, what your next move is, who you really are. Because you leave space for imagination. And in that space, intimidation grows. Most men go through life trying to be liked, trying to be loud, trying to be seen. But the truly intimidating man does none of that. He is silent when others speak. Calm when others panic. Focused when others are lost. He doesn't need to project his power because his power is real. You've just seen the 8 signs that separate the rare from the average. Now the question is, how many of these live in you? If even a few of them resonated, you're not just on the path, you're already a threat. But don't stop here. Cultivate the silence. Build the mystery. Embrace discomfort. Speak less. Do more. Because in a world addicted to noise, your quiet strength becomes your greatest weapon. Stay sharp. Stay locked in. And if this hit you somewhere deep, show some love. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And share it with the few who get it. Until next time.